Thanks for staying with us. So, we're discussing this morning, 1 month after the train attack between Abuja to Kaduna that claimed the lives of quite a number of Nigerians, and also others were kidnapped. Now, we also want to put a searchlight on this because the minister in charge of this transportation is also running for office. And it seems to Nigerians that nothing is being done, especially because Mariam took it on the front page earlier, that we have pictures of faces of the victims, those who were actually kidnapped, and demands are still being made. We don't know how far the government has gone on making the demand, on meeting the demands, but our thoughts are with the families of those who are still expecting that their loved ones will be out. This morning, we want to talk about what is the government doing. We'd like to hear your views on this. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read your tweets. We hope that before the end of the conversation, we'll have somebody from the Nigerian Rail Authority to give us an update on what has been done, and hopefully maybe from the police to hear what's been done so far. But when we saw this picture on the front page, it was quite disturbing when you see the faces, when you can actually make faces with this. What came to your mind when you read the story, and how do you think the fact that Nigerians are complaining that the minister who is supposed to take responsibility for this is focused on elections right now?
You know, looking at those pictures, and I felt sad, and then I'm imagining family members, relatives, actually looking at these pictures and able to say, that's my uncle, that's my father, that's my mom, that's my wife. You know, these are people's family members, and they have been held captive for almost a month. Even when a family member leaves to go somewhere, you know, for something, we know how we miss them. Right. But the circumstances of this just, you know, it's really scary. And I just don't even know how these families are, you know, holding up for this period. But remember we took a story where the federal government was saying something about that there's a way that they need to handle this. They cannot tell us everything all the time because it's a serious, sensitive security issue. And sometimes in just revealing the progress of their investigation, they can tip off these terrorists and bandits, and so they are silent. But the family members also are saying that, okay, we understand that you're doing that, but someone needs to come talk to us and reassure us that something is being done. Right. Imagine that you see your family members there, and then you look to your left, and then you see the minister who is supposed to have been in charge of that particular ministry doing something else. I mean, running a race on the field. I'm like, really? I mean, I understand that maybe life and business must go on, but we need to have a situation where maybe every week the families are hearing from the federal government, just trying to reassure them, we're sorry, we may not give you details on how far we're going because we don't want to tip them off, but know that we're on it. You cannot just go quiet or silent on people like that.
So I think it was one of the governors, I'm not sure it was maybe Governor Sanwo-Olu, that something happened that every week he was giving us an update on what
that was COVID.
That was during COVID. We're getting a weekly update. So this, I mean, the same gravity we extended to COVID, we should do the same thing to things like accidents that happen, because these are lives. Yes. No matter, even if it's one life, take it just very serious, as seriously as any other, as COVID. So would have liked the way the minister or the police is saying that investigations are ongoing, their talks are ongoing, we want to reassure the community, the roads are being fixed, these are the plans, you know, just something to let us know that we haven't, those people haven't been abandoned.
Yes. That would be the reaction we'll get from a leader who is empathic and, you know, understands this thing. What the reaction we've gotten more often is a feeling of another number, because these things happen so often. Oh, another one has happened again. Okay, so how many people did they kidnap this time? That's just the way I foresee that conversation happening whenever they're talking about this situation. Not in a way that this could be my brother, this is someone's father, this is someone's sister. Leadership must have empathy. You need to be able to feel the way your people are feeling, and you need to have a vision for them to have a better life. So we have a situation where it was barely 2 weeks after the attack that former Governor Michi, current Minister of Transport, ran around the stadium to prove he was agile and fit enough to run for presidency. And in no time during his declaration, did he mention what they were doing. I understand that many people are sad based on what happened, and I understand that you might feel I could do better, and I feel maybe when I become the president, I'll have more opportunity to do better. Like, even if you want to twist it into a campaign, but the point is we're not seeing someone sitting on it at all. That's on one side. And on the other side is, people are scared. You know, the average Nigerian is scared. You are worried that you cannot go into a public transport that should be secure. And we are not dealing with that issue. Many of our leaders are out about campaigning. They are going to consult with delegates. They are traveling from state to state. Hello, are you going through train?
Okay.
How are you going around?
Okay, I don't even know.
You have escorts.
Okay, I don't even know if it's the train that we are scared of, because many of us hardly don't even go on train. I think the scare, which you said, the fear is I could be the next number.
Yes. Yeah.
It could be a car accident. It could be a plane accident. It could be anything. I could just be the next number that government it happens and government just moves on.
Release the new information
just moves on.
Now.
So that's the fear. That's what we said. People are scared. I'm scared of being in an accident in this country. I'm scared of being a number. That's the reality. You see?
I saw the pictures of these victims in the papers this morning, and I felt weak. I felt weak because it's a crime to be an ordinary Nigerian. Anything can happen to you, and you are at the mercy of whatever. You don't have that hope that succor will come. We're still talking about Chibok girls still today. We're still talking about some of those, what's the other school that were kidnapped? We still have people who have been kidnapped for years, Dapchi. And till now, it seems like it's a crime to just be an ordinary Nigerian. And that is why people do whatever it takes to just take them from this level to that level, no matter how they want to get there, because they have looked around and they have seen that if anything happens to you, whether it's sickness or you don't have healthcare insurance, anything happens to you and you have a disease that costs millions, that is the end. You become a beggar automatically on television, and you are asking people to contribute just to. So the average Nigerian life is not seen to be respected. I expected the government to have like a sober reflection. When you know that you have failed in your primary responsibility, which is taking care of lives and properties, you don't come out with a bragado kind of, I'm still able to do my job. You cower. There's a way you talk. There's a way you talk to the people.
Remorseful.
Yeah, you're remorseful because you know that for whatever excuse that you give, you have failed in this and you are working towards making it better. But what the body language that I see is, life needs to go on. Yeah. Politics is around the corner. Let us do what we want to do. And when I was reading the papers this morning, I saw the family members of these people. They were lamenting, said when they saw the pictures, some of them could not eat. You know, they were feeling for this. Some of them, they already have ill health before being kidnapped. So they don't even know what is going to happen tomorrow. All right. Where are we?
Let me take this call from Chief Bright from Owerri. Good morning, Chief Bright. Are you there? Chief Bright, you're live.
Hello?
Hello, sir. You're live. Go ahead, please. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Volume.
Yeah. Yes. Since we are discussing.
Okay, we have to disconnect that call.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for calling. As Nigerians, we're still quite worried about the fact that after a month, we're yet to hear anything from the government. I'm told I have a caller. Good morning, sir, from Chesterfield.
Good morning, Maria.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
All right, thank you. I'm just going to say two things quickly. The level of security in our country is worrisome. And the first thing I want to say is I completely agree with what Obiano just said earlier on. There is no value for human lives in Nigeria. It's very evident, and it's so sad. Now, I know that there was a time this discussion was made, and a suggestion was made, and Murayo, you you talked about the cost of this intervention, which is all deploy machinery. We can't handle this thing. Let's be fair. We can't. We are overwhelmed. We can't handle the present security situation in Nigeria. And I think that machinery deployment will help. Let me take us back to 2015 when Jonathan and our current president was contesting. There was going to be election in February, and it was postponed for 2 weeks so that we could settle security issues in Borno State. Within 2 weeks, we took 17 local governments back, if you remember. Now, after that, we had no development any longer. Is it because of our selfish motive and intuition? Is it because there's no political will to fight this thing? That's one. Secondly, guys, I believe that 2023 is another great opportunity ahead of us. And we all must play our part. We must get our PVC and vote. I'm up for voting next year, even though I live in England. But I know that I have families, I have friends in Nigeria. Not everybody would come out of the country. Even those of us that are out of the country, there's no place like home, let's be honest.
Right. Thank you very much, Ayo. Miriam, I mean, this is Ayo lamenting, obviously.
Yes, you know, he said 2023, and really the point I was going to make is that the way politics is done in our country is such that it does not matter if you messed up before. You can just confidently and boldly run for office again. If it were any other country, I mean, just the fact that you know you'll be quizzed on how you performed is enough to scare you away from wanting to run. Because
what track record?
Yes, what is
makes
your
sense.
Good? What's your track record? How was this and this and this able to happen during your administration or while you were in charge of a particular ministry? Just that, just the fear of those questioning would scare you from showing your face. But here, it does not matter. We would give all sorts of excuses. We would say we're part of an administration, but we promise you we'll do better than the administration that you were part of, that you're influencer in, that you were an advisor in. So what expo are you keeping that you're not sharing with your principal right now that can help the country? Waiting to keep it till you come in. So we need to, as you know, our last caller said, when this time around, we need to ask the right questions. We need to let them understand that we're not just going to put anyone, but only those we believe can do better.
Thank you, Mariam, because I think this is quite profound. Maybe sometimes when we have this kind of topics, and I worry that we're just lamenting, but sometimes we need to lament to remind Nigerians that we need better leadership.
Yeah.
You know, we lament of this, we talk about these things because it's a reminder that who we have, that the fact that you have a track record of a train that you recently bought and was attacked, and we're yet to hear anything progressive from the government, you should cover your face.
Yes, so
but the fact that you have the audacity to actually come out again, it shows that we are secondary in the minds of these politicians. And this is a good reminder for us. Let me take this call that I'll come to you, Tokwe. Kelechi, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, ladies of
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. See, they said the success of any free society is dependent on who is the leader. All right? And the failure depends on who is the leader of that society or country or whatever. Now, let's start with Buhari. You remember Buhari granted interview with Arise Television Abuja. He was giving an economic statistics of his own country, published by a government agency, Bureau of Statistics. Our president said that, I do not know where you get that statistics. All I know that everybody should go back to the farm. Which farm we will go back to? Farm where Boko Haram and bandits don't take over. That one is aside. Number two, you all know that there's one presidential hopeful I listened to with a show that was during Easter. That is the only man that has spoken the truth about Buhari. He said that Buhari, his name is Duben Kachuku. He said that Buhari is technically checked out. He said ever since he did that brain surgery, he said he has become mentally incapacitated.
Okay, all right. So I didn't know there was brain surgery. But there was a point that was made earlier. I think I don't know if we can touch on that. The fact that I lost my train of thoughts. Go ahead.
Okay, so we were discussing the fact that the effrontery of our leaders to view a track record of many challenges and still feel they can
Do better.
buy the 100 million naira form and sell us a vision that they will do better than what they've done in the past 8 years, or someone who's under his watch, there's been several ASU strikes, several issues, and then he comes out and says the track record is the one where I was a governor for a short period of time many years ago. So in the past 8 years, we should just delete it from our minds, or
Thank you. Let me even pause you for a second. Because what I was trying to say earlier was that what Kelechi said, that it starts from the top.
Yeah.
So our president himself should have done something about this train. Either you sack somebody, or we reinstate somebody. We know that if we see your body language, that you are taking it serious, but he just keeps quiet.
I remember the body language time, but we said it, that time we called it the will. Political will, having the political will. But we, as of now, I think most Nigerians understand that there's no political will, because it's obvious when a president, the presidential team could excuse why a sick person convicted of corruption should be released and pardoned. That already shows you where the political will is leaning towards. And we should realize that anybody, for me, anyone associated with this administration is suspect. If you at no point saw the handwriting on the wall to say, I want to step away from this, it will smear my name. If you are a man of integrity, you are so honest, and you saw the way things were going in the country, you saw the way things were being mismanaged, you saw how people are being kidnapped, schools are not safe, train is not safe, and you still remain in the administration, and you now want to say, I'm going to solve the problem if you vote for me. You are suspects.
Fantastic. I think what Mariam says is so apt. So if you're a member of the APC today, and you saw Buhari quiet all through all this disaster and not saying much, and you've not been able to give him a solution. If you have the answer, now you have the answer. It's the same administration. You should have given your guy the expo since. Let me take this call from George. George, are you still there? Oh, I think we lost that call.
So for me, the fear now is, when bandits come and they take people, terrorists, Boko Haram, sometimes we find out that they are asking for money. So they'll ask for money, give us 100 million, 200 million, and then you negotiate, you break it down, you reduce it, and the government finds a way to pay the ransom and releases these people. Now, what we have in this case is not money they're asking for. They're asking for their commanders who have been arrested to be released.
Plus money.
What sort of, plus money? What sort of conversations are they going to be having with the government now? What sort of consensus will they get to? Because these people are adamant about releasing their commanders, or they will not release the people that they have. Probably, I don't want to go to the worst case scenario. So this is the time where I don't know if there's anything like a pause in, especially for the security heads. Anybody who is in that sphere right now needs to put their heads together and find exactly what they are going to do about the commanders who have been incarcerated already, what they are going to do about releasing these people, because before we hear now, we hear, we've secured release, we don't want to tell you what has happened, and the commanders disappear from office. So the matter is not a simple, from prison, it's not a simple exchange money, collect people. It has gone beyond the physical needs to now how they want to keep their programs going. So this is not the time for focusing on other things. 2023 is coming. We need to quickly get people to vote for us and all of that. We have a problem in our hands, and everybody needs to be serious about it. We need to feel that you're serious about it and wait for the results.
We have to wrap up on this, but let me take this call quickly from Selena. Selena, are you there? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Morayo, see, I oftentimes would define leadership as one who have mastered himself. You can only lead people when you have lead yourself. I said it that this government, anybody that is part of this government, this failed government, shouldn't even think of contesting in next 10 years election.
Yeah.
And I keep saying it. Somebody will say the vice president will do more when he's elected and all of that. If he has resigned when things were tough and go home and come back to say, now I know the problem, I'm coming back to ratify it, I will personally vote for him. But for the fact he's part of this failed 7 years and he's coming back to tell myself that he's claiming that he had it. What magic do you want to do that you didn't do in 7 days?
Thank you so much, Sterling. We have to wrap up on this, but I think the summary of our conversation so far is the fact that this administration, or obviously many Nigerians feel they are failed in certain areas. And because of that, if you're a part of this administration, meaning you're a minister, you're elected office, there's not time for you to come out and say, well, I can solve the problem, because you didn't support your principle in solving this problem. So if it was another climb, as Miriam had said, you will just hide your face. You are the outgoing, become outgoing. The fact that you want to run again is like you don't care. You don't think that Nigerians will look at your track record of what you've done and what you've not done to decide if they're going to vote for you. It's quite saddening, or even more sickening, that you think that we would totally overlook what you've done in the last 2, 3, 4 years and just remember that, oh, it used to be former this and former that. That's not going to happen. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in another hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.